Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, I'm a big fan of Bernie Sanders. I love his willingness to take on Wall Street and the big banks and the moneyed special interests. And he knows what he's talking about too. And I'll probably vote for him in the primary. See, since the 70s, since the Reagan administration, and probably even a little bit before that, our entire economic policy, both foreign and domestic, have been about making the rich richer, often at the expense of everybody else. And it would be great to have somebody whose economic policies are devoted to making things better for the middle class and the working poor, and even just the poor. But I doubt that he can elbow aside Hillary Clinton. And if she gets the nomination, well, I do think that she is a little bit too close to the wealthy elite and to Wall Street. But I really wouldn't have a problem with her getting the nomination. She is, without a doubt, the most qualified person who has ever run for president. As First Lady, she wasn't just a decoration. She was very involved with the nuts and bolts of the Clinton administration. She's incredibly smart. She's a very hard worker. She knows how the White House works, and as a senator, Clinton earned respect on both sides of the aisle for her work ethic and knowledge of the issues. One military expert said that Hillary thinks more like a general than any other politician. As Secretary of State, she rebuilt a State Department that was totally demoralized under the Bush administration. I mean, the Bushies neither understood nor cared about diplomacy. When Obama entered the White House, the U.S. had a 20% popularity rating in Europe. It's now 65%. And Hillary shares a lot of credit to that. Like, for example, before the WikiLeaks released a bunch of embarrassing diplomatic cables, Clinton spent the entire Thanksgiving weekend calling world leaders on the phone in country after country, apologizing, reassuring, and cajoling them. And she headed off what could have been a crisis. It just became an embarrassment, but it wasn't the deep kind of crisis that it would have been had Bush still been in office. Now, the GOP will continue to attack her on Benghazi, but there's been countless hearings about that, and they've got nothing. And Hillary is already challenging the GOP on voting rights and will probably force them to defend what really are indefensible positions. When state-issued student IDs are not acceptable to vote, but gun permits are, you know it's not about voter fraud. It's simply about eliminating people who will vote against you and enhancing people who will vote for you. To put it simply, it's cheating. When you come right down to it, I mean, there are very, very few examples of in-person voter fraud. The only real voter fraud is voter suppression. Thanks for listening.